If you've ever tried to train a wild burro, you know it's not about force, it's about feel. And if you push too hard, you won't get flight, you'll get freeze. Welcome back to Training Wild Burros. We're all about a slow, thoughtful training that builds trust without brace or panic. Subscribe and check out our merchandise below. Shirts, mugs, and hats with the Training Wild Burros logo on it. Comment where you're watching from and your experience with donkeys. We love to hear your stories. In a recent poll, you asked for more behind the scenes footage. So in this video, we're going to have a little bit more update about what Hannah's doing now that she's back from the Army, along with just some of our Calamity puppy playing, Calamity Jane. And Hannah just got bees, so we'll have a little update about the bees during this video also. I'm so glad you're here with us. Sit back and enjoy. Whether your goal is to make a pack donkey or just enjoy the process of watching what it's like to gentle and train the donkeys, this video is for you guys. I am hoping to bring you a ton of value with this and help you through your own trials and errors with your donkeys. Remember, I've done this with a lot of donkeys, so learn from my mistakes and the tips and tricks that I have learned along the way. I started making these videos because I wanted to gentle and train donkeys myself before finding them forever homes. Donkeys are often misunderstood, and it takes time for them to build trust. By sharing their training journeys, I hope to give the new families the tools they need to continue gentling the process and help the donkeys thrive. I'm lucky that my husband enjoys this work too, and our daughter Hannah. Though she's busy with the Army, she loves equines and helps whenever she can. This has been something really meaningful for our whole family. When I started making these videos, I had no idea how much the channel would grow. Training Wild Burros now has over 6,000 subscribers, and we've launched a membership program to help support the time and the work that goes into creating these videos. Right now, we have 12 equine on the property. I work a full-time job during the day, then train, and then film and edit. It's a lot, but it's worth it. I love hearing the stories of how the videos are helping you or requests for different videos that you guys have in mind. The membership program is a great way to support what we do, and we've added a coaching option to help people like yourself with your own journeys. We offer a few different tiers, so there's something for everyone. At Training Wild Burros, we gentle train wild burros and mustangs and then find them forever homes. Along the way, I share what I've learned because I've made a lot of mistakes over the years, and I want to help others avoid them. My goal is to make sure that you and your animals have all the tools you need to succeed long after the video ends. With wild burros, progress comes when you stop trying to make it happen and just wait. They'll invite you in if you're quiet enough to notice. Highline training teaches safety without panic. With the highline, if there's any tension on a lead rope, they get an immediate reward when they release it. With the highline, they're able to move their feet, which can really help with the anxiety that they might have with not having full control of where they go. What's one lesson an animal taught you about going slow? Write that in the comments, guys. Saddling starts with exploration. Watch the ears and the eyes for softness. We're going to repeat and reward any curiosity. What was your donkey's first reaction to a saddle? When I start introducing the saddle, I like it to be with them not tied up to anything. And then as they get more comfortable, then I go ahead and tie them while we're saddling. The reason I do this is I really want them to be comfortable with the whole process. When they get to move their feet, it can remove anxiety. They understand that they're not trapped, or it helps them understand that they're not trapped. So starting without being tied up and introduce being tied up once they're comfortable. Lots of breaks and love is very important for donkeys.
This one don't eat
They
treats.
love cuddles.
All he wants is love.
I also use a lot of pay guys when I'm introducing new things. Once I get to the actual groundwork, I don't use pay for them anymore. But you'll see up on the hitching post that there's a bag of oats. Now, Joker will not take any oats from our hand. He is so funny. He's not even eating them if we put him in a bowl. But Blackjack loves oats. Some are more food motivated than others. And if you're curious about how to give your donkey treats without making them aggressive or too pushy, I have another video in that. I'll put a link to that video in the description here, guys. After they're used to wearing the saddle, going on and off. This can be many, many times. Then we'll start with walking around with no weight on it. And I don't put the panniers on when we first start either. So we start off with just a saddle, no weight, and then help them get used to moving around with it, as feeling that cinch around their girth can make them a little bit nervous sometimes. When you're helping them get used to the saddle, you can start off with just small movements. When they go in a circle, that can be where they get a little bothered. And then we're going to just keep building confidence. You could do it with obstacles or short walks. We really want to focus on doing circles and not pulling. So here is Poncho, and he's pretty nervous to walk next to Stormy, my horse. Now, because we don't want to pull, I'm just going to lead him around a little bit to help him get used to being next to the horse. Right now, that's very intimidating for him. But as we keep going and he starts to show some confidence, then I'm going to hand Hannah the lead rope, and she is going to start to pony him. Again, going in circles, not pulling. We don't want to pull and drag them. When we do that, we would just create resistance. And when we create resistance with the donkey, it's going to be time consuming to move past that. Okay, so let's avoid that and do them right by being patient, waiting, giving them breaks, and it could even be some treats sometimes, and time to process what's happening. That makes all the difference for these guys. Remember how I said I want you guys to both learn from my mistakes, all the mistakes I make, so you don't have to. When I brought Seamus home, I didn't know anything. Seamus didn't do anything. And I used to dolly up and drag him. No, Seamus will pony now, guys. But how many of these things could have I done faster if I understood what I was supposed to do? Now, I used to go on walks with Seamus, and it was a snail's pace, a donkey snail pace, trying to get him to step up and go faster. I really didn't think it was ever going to happen. The people that I would watch, I thought they must be crazy when they said they would. While I was walking Seamus out back, just getting him some more exercise and conditioning, and that guy will just trot right alongside me now. But years ago, he wouldn't do that. So, learn from my mistakes, guys. Go in circles, don't pull, don't create resistance. Give them breaks when they need it to help them process what they're learning. It lets the donkey regulate. Remember, they are thinkers, like the professors of the equine world. When we first brought Seamus home, I didn't know horses were afraid of donkeys. And our old horse, Danny Boy, oh my gosh, he wouldn't let the donkey or the mule drink water. They were on other sides of the fence, but the fence line was divided by the water trough. And every time that the donkey or the mule would go to get water from the water trough, Danny Boy would run up on the other side to chase them off, even though he couldn't do anything because they were separated by a fence, and so was the water trough. But it was so funny to watch. It never even dawned on me that maybe he was afraid of them. And then one day we were out hunting, and I was walking Seamus. He had a pack saddle on, and there was horses going way wide. These guys were good horse people. I didn't know that the horses were afraid of donkeys. So now I understand that horses are afraid of donkeys. But what I learned recently, and these guys helped me teach me this, guys, donkeys are afraid of horses. So this is Poncho. He's afraid of Stormy, and little by little he'll work through that. But we want, again, to give them time without dragging them, just going in circles, helping him move his feet a little bit, and then lots of breaks so he can process. Remember, a donkey is not going to give you a whole bunch of answers trying to find the answer to the question you're asking.
Yeah, now it's got room. There you go.
They're going to just stand there and wait and assess, always thinking about whether or not this is going to cause them harm. Now, just like a horse, guys, a donkey is going to learn whether you're trying to teach them something or not. They are very smart. So when you're doing stuff, I like to keep these sessions short. I think this session with Poncho here was about 15 minutes, maybe 20. So I like to keep the sessions short with breaks in there. I believe that the goal is 25-75. So if you're with them for an hour-long training session, you're going to be asking them questions for 15 minutes of the time and standing there with them, letting them process and come down from their anxiety, or 45 minutes of that time. So 15 minutes of training, out of an hour session long. And you can just break that down as appropriate for how long of a session you're doing. And this might be extreme, but this is where slower is faster. When you give them time to process, they can assess and determine that, oh, I can walk with her and it's not going to cause me harm. But when we try to force things, you can do things. There's so many ways to do things, but your timing better be perfect. And if you don't let them come down, you're going to have a harder time getting them past that. One time, Dan was walking around Seamus. So this is early on, guys, years and years ago. He was walking around Seamus and got to the driveway platform, and it was all icy. And Dan was like, oh my gosh, I better let go of him. I don't want him to fall down. The next time I walked through that platform with Seamus was like months and months later. It might have been near 6 months later. It took me a half hour to get him over that platform. It was a concrete platform to hold 2 vehicles. It wasn't very big, but boy, was he afraid. So guys, learn from my mistakes. I've made plenty of them. And take your time and give them a lot of breaks. It will pay off in the long run. Many, many people have heard the old saying, quit on a good note. What does that mean to you guys? Put that in the comments. As I have continued with all this training and following Ty Evans, my mentor, I'm understanding better that quitting on a good note is not just because they did one thing well. It's because their mind is in a good spot. We're always focused on their mind, being soft, willing. So for me, quitting on a good note really has a lot to do with taking that step towards the horse in this scenario. Just showing that he's a little bit willing, a little bit more curious. His mind is soft. That's a good note. That's the note that we want to quit on. Not just because he took one step towards us and it was on accident, but really he's still so elevated inside. Get their minds, and then the rest will start to come. So just little steps is great progress. You're thinking you want to pack your donkeys? What would you guys pack on them? What would you use them for?
Pack donkeys.
Here is Joker and Blackjack, and they're learning how to be ponied together. But you see, I don't have a horse right now. Why is that? I have the best luck when I break everything down into really understandable processes for them. So right now, to keep this safe for them,
rope up in his tail.
I don't want any pulling. Remember, we want them to follow us. I have us in a small pen. And then as they start to show me that they understand what I'm asking, I can make the pen bigger. Now, why do I have them in the order that I have them? So Blackjack is first there with the saddle on, and Joker is following behind. I have it set up this way is because
Mary Jo, this is going
Joker
so well.
is super brave, you guys. Unbelievably brave.
Okay.
And Blackjack, he's pretty brave, but not as brave. So to help them be successful in this, I have Blackjack right next to me. And because Joker is so brave, he's following behind. And you can see he's doing a knock-up job of following behind. We've opened up the pen now, so we have 2 pen sizes. And after they're comfortable with this, we'll start leading them outside and then with a horse. But breaking everything here down into baby steps is going to help them understand what I'm asking. And when they understand and they feel confident, they're going to be willing. Many people have heard trigger stacking. So if you notice right now, there's no panniers on them, and only one is wearing a saddle. Every time we add something new, we're trigger stacking. So being led behind another donkey, wearing a saddle, all of that is a trigger. We want to keep these triggers to a minimum as we introduce things. That way we're not adding on more that they can handle at one time. Once they're comfortable with these steps, we can add more on. We're going to know that they're comfortable because maybe they take a step towards us. They're not pulling away. Their ears are moving around and not just pinned in one area. When I say pinned, I'm not talking about flat back out of anger. I'm talking about, if you think you see something in the bushes and you're staring at it to try to figure out what it is. When their ears are only focused on one area, that's letting us know that they're nervous. They're not comfortable with what we're doing yet. So keep working at it until they relax. Their body language shows us that they're feeling relaxed. Now, we always need breaks along the day to make sure that our puppies get attention. Now, Calamity is, she's about 2 years old now. So I guess I should stop calling her a puppy. But we give her lots of playtime, fetching. This here is one of her first water retrieves. This one's an older video. We didn't wait for her first time fetching in the water until she was 2. So this was last summer, guys. Now she jumps in like it's nothing. The first time she ran in here, though, she didn't know that there was a drop off, and she tumbled like a somersault because she didn't know that it dropped off. I didn't get to see it because Dan had brought her without me. But we're teaching her to retrieve. This is Calamity Jane. And she loves to swim. Absolutely. She's a Labrador Retriever. Now, I have some videos out there about introducing your family dog to your donkeys. I personally had a lot of questions about this, how they say that they'll just attack without warning. So keep watching. I'll have even more coming up with that as we've introduced Calamity to the donkeys. And we do it based on the donkey's personality and what they're ready for. Also, what the dog is ready for, right? When she was a year old, she was kind of a spaz. So I didn't feel like I could trust her yet. And we're going to keep working on that. And she's starting to show me that she's more trustworthy. One day I hope to get a video of every single donkey here behind, and we can compare them all. Who's the loudest? Right now it's a toss-up between Honk and Little Dude. So let's move back into training and introducing. We're going to wait for their invitation, guys, when we're approaching them. And then we're going to start showing them how to be ponied. We're going to do this slowly based on the donkey's abilities. So here, Pancho shows he's a little bit nervous, so he's going to need more time. When things don't go well, don't worry about it, guys. Keep with that patience, going slow, and you will get them following you, starting off with circles and expanding those circles as they're ready. Look at that. It works beautifully, and I'll do this going forward instead of dragging them like I used to. Let's move on to Blackjack and Joker. These donkeys have a very different personality than Pancho here. Joker being super duper brave and the leader of those two. And I think so Blackjack too. Is almost as brave, but not as quite. Right, so this is the first time introducing them to be ponied by a horse. You can see how his head's leaning away a little bit. He's a little bit nervous. Your tail end is dragging on the ground. So we're going to go slow, introduce one at a time. After we make sure that Blackjack will pony just fine behind the horse at a time. We don't want to trigger stack and cause them too much anxiety. Joker. Learning all of this stuff is anxiety causing all by itself. Going slow. We're not going to drag them. That's a key part of this, you guys. Now, if he's doing good, we can go farther. But if he's not doing well, then we'll keep it simple and stay close to the pen. Being away from the wild pen, that all by itself can be a trigger. So keep in mind the trigger stacking. Can you turn Stormy, Hannah? I don't remember which trainer came up with that, but it applies to the donkeys also. So here he gets a little nervous and gets in front of Stormy. You want to be a shorter lead rope? Remember, ponying them can be dangerous. You can get wrapped up in the ropes or pulled off. Now, Stormy's pretty big, and these donkeys are pretty small, so they seem just fine. But here he's getting more comfortable with being ponied, but he still gets nervous. So you see how he's walking pretty good there, and then he got nervous and kind of darted ahead. It's the first time, so if you have to, you could let go of the rope, but we're going to try not to do that. Remember, they learn whether we're trying to teach them or not. So if they apply a little pressure and they get away every time, that's where they're going to learn that that's a great way to get away. We don't want to teach them that. You want to make sure who you're ponying off from is used to having that rope around their butt and stuff, because it could get stuck underneath their tail, and that could cause your animal that you're riding some You're getting anxiety. Frustrated? So practice all this stuff with the animal you're ponying from, as well as the animal you're ponying. Hannah, whenever he does that, you could just turn and go the opposite direction like you did. So use caution. That might just help him. Make sure that you're comfortable doing this ponying from the animal you're on. So here he's doing pretty good. Look at how well he's walking behind Stormy now. There's a little draw to the wild pen area there, but he's sticking with them. Now we want Blackjack to be ponying pretty decent before we add Joker
Starting to figure it
so
out,
that there's
guys.
3 of them in a line. But before we add Joker behind Blackjack, we also want to pony Joker all by himself because of the trigger stacking. So we're going to do this with Blackjack, get him used to going around a little bit.
Some donkeys are really, really afraid of the horses.
Then we'll do Joker all by himself, and then we'll add on both of them at one time. After they're comfortable being ponied just like this, he's got that lightweight training saddle. I'll have a link in the description for that. It works great. I love it because I can throw it on and off a gazillion times without wearing out my arms. After they're used to all of this, then we'll put the panniers on, and we haven't done that yet. They've worn the panniers each individually, but not being led around. Oh, there he gets a little
feisty there.
He's so funny. Now remember, the reason that we're doing Blackjack first and then Joker is because Blackjack, even though you can see he's pretty brave here, he's not as brave as Joker. So when we're doing this, I want to have Blackjack being the first one and Joker following behind because of the braveness. Now, this is another preference thing. I have heard that some people like to have the troubled one in the middle or at the back. And I don't mean to call Blackjack troubled because he's not. Just trying to set this up for success. But if you guys pony, where do you like your most confident and your least confident animals to be in the string? Put that in the comments, guys. So this is Hannah. Now keep watching. We're going to have more from Hannah of what Hannah's up to with flying in the helicopter, a little bit from her graduation ceremony, from becoming a Blackhawk pilot. Oh yes, we are super proud of our baby girl. Not a baby anymore though. And bees. She got honeybees, so she's very excited about honeybees.
A little bit more nervous,
and I came over there with
a lot
her
of donkeys wouldn't do
to
this
check her honeybees for the first time. This is new for her. She's never done honeybees
He does
before,
step out,
but she
and
is
Joker
very
has
excited
zero
about
fear
it.
of anything.
Have you guys ever done honeybees?
And that's why he's going to be tied to Blackjack.
So look at how good he's doing.
Blackjack
I'm
will
so
need a
proud
little
of
bit more
these guys.
encouragement.
Blackjack and Joker are now available for their forever home. So if you guys are interested in these two, let me know. They are amazing little guys. I just love these guys. If I had the room to keep more forever, I think I would totally keep these guys. They're so awesome. But I have 6 of my own permanent animals. I have 1 horse and 5 donkeys that are our forever animals. And then we have 6 that we're gentling and training so that we can find their forever homes. And as I'm recording this, we're going to be going to look at a Mustang today that somebody brought home about a year ago, but they haven't had time to do all the gentling and training stuff. And they have contacted us to see if we would be willing to take this one on. So we're going to be going over there today, and we'll look at it and evaluate it to see if it's one that we can help. Remember, when you're gentling and training these guys, it takes a long time. So this person who's looking for somebody else and reached out to us about taking on her Mustang,
not being led by a person.
I get it, guys. It's time consuming. When we brought home 7, Blackjack and Joker are the last 2 of the 7.
Would be adding too
Man, it wasn't hard, guys, but it was time consuming.
Having the panniers on.
Cisco and Poncho were both captured in April, and then we at the end of April, and we got them at the beginning of August. So they were just barely.
I'd say he's doing a good job.
Wild, right? They were
nice work,
of the
Blackjack.
King of the mountains until they were captured.
Oh, we won't be facing
and
the
it took
sun.
a while
Yay.
to gain their trust. There was nothing hard about it. It's not like climbing a mountain where you're just like, oh my gosh, my legs are so tired, or I'm out of breath. It was just time consuming. So when you guys take on gentling or training a wild or domestic, because some domestics, even though they're domestic, they could be just as nervous as a wild. When you take them on, be ready to put in the time. They do take a lot of time. There's nothing, I don't find it hard. I know that a lot of people do find donkeys hard. I don't find donkeys hard. I just find them time consuming. Be willing to put in the time and you're going to go far. Seamus has really taught me that. We got Seamus, I don't remember exactly, but near 10 years ago. I didn't know how to do anything to train them. And I wasn't even sure if I should try because I didn't want to ruin them. But eventually I decided if it was going to get done, I was going to have to go ahead and try. It's gone great. Okay, it's gone great. I have been in tears more time from Seamus than any other donkey. But I love that donkey. He is amazing. I still make mistakes with them. I share this with you because I want to encourage you to get out there and just try.
Kind of photobombing, Seamus. Get out of here, Pa.
I'm sorry.
We're filming.
You're going to make mistakes, so I guess we all just have to accept that and be willing to learn from our mistakes and then move on. They are so much fun. The progress that I've seen from Seamus over the last 10 years, it's still growing. Like, even just this year when I had him out hiking back behind the house, and he was willing to trot alongside me with no problem. And I recall back to when it was almost walking as slow as like heel to toe. And I wondered if I would ever get past this. And you will. So go ahead and keep trying, guys. I'm here to help. Now I'm offering memberships to help you even more. I can help support you along your journey, and all these videos that I'm making also to help you along your journey. We love this donkey here so much, Famous Seamus, that we even created a nonprofit named after him, the Famous Seamus Farm, where we can use this to help us gentle, train, and rehome even more wild donkeys. Now, the Famous Seamus Farm has its own YouTube channel, and mostly I'm just putting jokes out there. So if you guys like just a silly dad joke, check that out. Famous Seamus Farm. All right, so let's go back to a little bit more of teaching Blackjack and Joker
now we got
how to
Blackjack.
be ponied.
No,
and
now we
then
have
after a
Joker.
little bit, we're going to move
Blackjack
on
has
to
the
more
saddle
life
on.
on the farm
Joker
with Hannah's Blackhawk graduation as a pilot for the
saddle.
Army. And she got bees, guys. So we'll check out that as well. What other animals do you guys care for at home? Curious, put that in the comments, guys. So when you're teaching them to be ponied, this one is Joker now. We're doing it individually. And then after we are able to
thought
see
he was done
that
with his ride.
Joker is okay being ponied by the horse, then we're going to string all three of them together, and you'll be able to see that as well. So I'm going to let some music play here, and you guys can just sit back and enjoy. Remember, don't pull, and just go slow. Give them breaks if they need it. Remember, these two are available now for their forever homes.
So they
I can
probably would've
totally imagine them
ponied easier
absolutely
behind a
rocking it
donkey,
as
but
pack donkeys. This
most
is
people in the
Joker.
world
He's
would be
the super
ponying by
duper
a
brave
horse.
one. The
Or
first time
leading
I
them.
led him out of the wild pen, I led him around in our south pasture for like 10-15 minutes, and he rocked it the whole time. Typically, when I'm leading one out of the wild pen for the first time, we might just barely get out of the wild pen and go back in, or maybe we walk around for 20 feet and go back in. So this guy is just abnormally brave. Everybody watching, do you guys do packing? What kind of packing stuff do you do? Do you do packing for camping trips or hunting trips, or just for the fun? Recently, with Hannah getting bees now, honeybees, I saw a little thing on, I don't know if it was Facebook, somebody sent it to me, but a beekeeper is using their donkey to help go collect the honey. And they had a suit for it. They had a suit that they put their donkey in, and then they had their own bee suit. Can you imagine using your donkeys to go gather up honey? Oh boy, that would be something else. I still gotta follow you?
Yeah, he is.
So next we're going to check out Hannah's graduation and her honeybees. And then after that, we will show footage of Blackjack and Joker being ponied together. So stay tuned. These will be the last two sections of our video today. I just want to take a moment to say how proud I am of my daughter, who recently graduated as a Blackhawk helicopter pilot with the Army. But what I'm most proud of isn't just the title. It's that she followed her dream. It wasn't easy. It took hard work, a lot of sacrifice, and a lot of heart. And that's what I hope encourages others. Not that you have to fly a helicopter or chase some huge dream, so cool. But whatever your dream is, big or small, it matters. You're worth the effort to chase it. I'd love to hear from you. What dreams are you working towards? Or how do you encourage the people around you to keep going after theirs? Share in the comments, because your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. And it's getting the smoker going for the bees.
Got little pellets in here too.
Are they like special pellets?
They're just like wood smoke pellets.
Putting on your hat, your special hat.
I got the goofiest looking ones too. But I thought it'd be funny.
There's different styles. You're not going to make it tight around your neck?
They're not like gonna come hunting for me.
Oh, I got mine all tight around my neck, guys.
We got tools. We have a horsehair brush. We can gently brush them off, not us, but the frames if we need to.
Okay. And you got bee food.
Yep, if you want to carry these over.
So we got feed bees, dry bee feed, and what's in that coffee can?
Wax.
Wax.
That we're taking.
Pump it again. I want to have it on video, you pumping that.
Just trying to get it going. Because hopefully
right, guys, what you guys have all been waiting
Really
for.
good, yeah.
Ponying 2 at one time. This is very exciting. They've both passed the test of being ponied individually while walking and behind Stormy. And now here they go. Look
I'm
at
a little
how
jealous
calm
that
they
you're
are.
doing this and not me.
Well, you want to get up
They're
here?
just
No, it's
rocking
fine.
it. They're doing a very, very good
fine.
job.
It's very, very
They go
cool.
up and down the driveway, and they stay pretty calm the whole time.
It would.
Here's 3 questions to think about. Write in the comments. I'd love to hear your responses. First one, what's the biggest mistake you've made with a donkey? The second, number 2, how do you know when your animal says yes?
Joker wants to eat.
And number 3, would you pony a donkey on the trail? Why or why not? This is what trust looks like, guys. Joker and Blackjack just following along Stormy with not a care in the world. They trust that everything is
First
going to be
time,
okay.
guys.
You can see their ears
Ponying
are
2 at
starting to
one
look
time.
around some. They're just doing a great job. Thank you all for being with us. Remember, go slow with your donkeys. Give them time to process and understand. Wait for them to invite you in before you approach them. Just like if you were walking up and you were going to talk to your boss questions, you wouldn't just go in there and demand that they respond. Maybe they're on the phone or something. You're going to wait for that cue before you start to engage the conversation. And the same thing is true with
They're being
donkeys.
angels.
Waiting for their cue will let them know that we see how they feel. We see where their mind is at, and we're willing to work with them from where they're at. First we go with them, then they go with us, and last we go together. Again, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you're enjoying the video, and I'll leave this plane with Hannah ponying them around. Have an amazing day.
These guys would be fun to rock with.
Oh my gosh, they would be so much fun.
I love it too.
They are such good boys. First time, guys. Look at that. We practiced this in the pen, and we practiced it one-on-one, and now we're practicing it with both of them. Now, Joker doesn't have a saddle on, and Blackjack is wearing that little training saddle. They both have worn panniers, and I think next time we do this, we'll put the panniers on. Hannah, will you go up the driveway? Because now the sun is at our back. It'll be a better video.
I must have a flaming hula hoop. You want to run through it?
Flaming hula hoops. We do a short video while I'm doing this. Nice job. Remember, go at their pace, introduce things slowly, and have fun with the process, guys. Take that time to give them, I like to call it the Oochie Goochies. Dan is an expert at the Oochie Goochies. Thanks for watching.